everyone, Alex at Coram Deo Farm. It is October, and October is garlic planting month, and so that's what I'm up to. Garlic is a fantastic vegetable to grow in raised gardens because it loves the floofy soil. It makes harvesting really easy, and it's just a great easy win for raised bed gardening. You plant in October, you typically harvest in July. I'm in zone 7. That applies also typically to a zone 6, a zone 8. So I'm really excited to get my garlic in. I had cucumbers in this bed over the summer. They've been pulled out. I've got some soil compaction. That's why the level is low. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to scrape back all of this mulch, and I'm going to top dress it with some nice new garden soil, and we'll come back and I'll tell you the varieties I'm planting. Spread out now that I've topped the beds is bulb tone. You could use like a biotone starter fertilizer. I like bulb tone. This will give the bulbs a shot of fertilizer as they're growing here this fall, and also they can take up some of it in spring. I will fertilize 2 more times in the spring and early summer, but this is a really good get them started because there is root development over the winter. They're not completely dormant. They're growing roots underneath the soil, and this is really good food for them as they're doing that. Just rake it in with your fingers. You could have sprinkled this before top dressing your beds and just put the soil over it. That works too. Again, this is just a little bit of food for winter time for them. So my varieties here. I have German Extra Hardy. I grow in Oklahoma. The Oklahoma Extension Office has a list of varieties that do really well here in Oklahoma, and one of them is German. So I got that, German Extra Hardy. I got this at Baker Creek. They're probably sold out now, but that's where I got this. This bag is an unlabeled soft neck variety from California. I got it on Amazon. I could look in closer to the exact variety, but it's just going to be your general garlic bulb. Could even be like a Spanish Roja, just a good solid garlic. I'm not super specific on taste. I just want a good cooking garlic. Some people get very opinionated. That's fine. This will be sufficient. And last but not least, I wanted to try to grow elephant garlic. Elephant garlic is massive, hence the name. This whole thing is just one bulb, and they grow huge. So I got this as a fun experiment to see if we liked growing it. It looks like about 8 bulbs, and they're going to need bigger spacing, so I might not even end up with room here in this bed. I might need to overlap, but we'll see. So 3 different varieties. I'm going to get my label sticks, and then I'll show you how to plant them. One thing to note about garlic is you hear people say, like, just buy it from the grocery store. You can, but you are really gambling on what you're getting, because often garlic that's sold to you in the grocery store is often treated with a sprout inhibitor, which means it's not going to form up a bulb for you. So what's going to happen is you're going to get it, you're going to plant it, you're going to see it grow a couple inches, and then it's basically going to die on you. It's going to curl up and brown and fizzle out. So in the beginning, you're going to think, yay, it worked, I got garlic. And then it's never going to form a bulb. Sometimes it does work. You might get a garlic that has not been treated, but you're not going to know, and it's kind of a big gamble. So I recommend ordering online proper seed garlic and not just going the grocery store route. People might be opinionated about that, but for me, it's worth it to get stuff I know is going to grow and not risk it. So it's going to come here in these bulbs. We'll do German first. German. We'll go this way. German. So it's going to come just like a garlic bulb, and each one is what I'm going to plant. So here, let me get it ripped apart. This is definitely, I'm trying to get each bulb out while not removing, ooh, you're tough, not removing too much of the paper. Okay, there we go, I got a bulb. Let's get them all separated out. Get that center out. Okay, here we go, I got five bulbs on that first one. These are big cloves. I keep saying bulbs. This is the bulb. These are the cloves. You're trying not to remove the paper on the outside because that's what's going to prevent them from rotting, but some of the paper will come off. 14, 15, 16. I got 16 cloves from the 3 bulbs I bought. Now, when you plant them, you're going to plant the pointy side up. It's going to be super obvious. This is the base. This is the point where the new sprout is going to come out. So the best thing to do, especially if you're planting in this nice loose soil, is lay them all out, and then you'll just be able to push them in. You're going to plant them about 6 inches apart. Give them plenty of room to size up. So let's see how far I get. A whole bed. Okay, so they're laid out 6 inches apart, and you're going to plant them about 3 to 4 inches deep. Because my soil's floofy, I should be able to just press it right in and cover it right up. This would be a lot trickier if you're planting in ground, especially if you had a clay soil. But if you do that, then just make a big long trench, lay your garlic out, and then just backfill it.
Just an easy trench in clay soil.
Just an easy trench in clay soil, that's right. No big deal.
It hasn't rained for a month.
That's right. No big deal. Pressed in. Easy peasy in a raised bed. Now I'm going to go get the other one set out. We'll see how far I get and if I need to go to another bed to plant the elephant garlic. But next up will be, I put California softneck is how I'm labeling that. In the garlic bed, as I suspected, which is fine. I like to keep things logically sorted. So I am going to put my elephant ear garlic over here, and conveniently I have some open space. I had sowed green beans here, and then we had a mouse in the garden problem, and the mouse feasted on my green beans. So that just means I have good open space for garlic. So I mentioned that this is elephant ear garlic, and let me show you the size of one. That's one clove. Isn't that wild? I don't know what it tastes like either. But these bad boys need 12-inch spacing, not 6-inch like the other guys. So it's good to give them their own. I have 8 here, and these guys get pretty darn big. They send up really tall scapes. So let's lay these out. I could probably get, Eric, what do you think? Is this 12 inches? If they
so close to the wall on the one side, is that right?
Probably. They recommend 8 to 12 inches. So here, what about, I'll put one up there and one right here. I like it. I like it. Let's plant them. as you saw, planting garlic is super easy in a raised bed. It's a super easy fall gardening chore. Now what's gonna happen is these guys likely, because it's early October, are gonna send up little shoots. Totally fine. Leave them. If you have snowfall and cold, they're gonna winter right through. And as I said, you might not see a lot of top growth during the winter, but underneath they're really building a strong root system. And then in the spring, that shoot will just keep growing. Two things to mention: watering and fertilizing. I'm gonna go in now here with my hose and give them a nice, good initial deep water. And then thereafter, it's really going to be by eye based on your conditions. You do not want to let the soil get super, super dried out, because then your garlic bulbs will just desiccate and you're not going to get any growth. But you also don't want to overwater them and have them rot. So I can't really give you a water twice a week type of guideline. I would do the finger soil test, where stick a finger a couple inches down into the soil. If there's any moisture, leave it. If it's super dry and powdery, give it a light water. Most places are going to get enough snow moisture throughout winter that you're not really going to need to water your garlic. But again, like if you're in a high desert situation, you might need to water more. In early spring and late spring, I will give a granular fertilizer, probably like a garden tone from a spoma. They are an allium, a bulb, so they're going to be heavy feeders, kind of like an onion is. So I'm gonna harvest twice, and then fertilize twice, and then typically the adage is around 4th of July, you harvest your garlic. But I'll be doing a video later next year to show you when is the time to harvest, what to look for, and all of that. So you still, I'm sure, have plenty of time to plant garlic. So go find some, put it in your raised gardens, and you will be glad you did come next summer. Come back for later videos. Thank you.